So, hi guys, back again, and today's topic is frenemy. 7 ways to spot a fake friend. I've had loads and loads of emails and DMs about this, and there's a lot of people out there that are, really deciding whether their friend is a friend or whether their friend is an enemy. So I put together this little blog, podcast blog. It will be on my blog as well, just to give you a bit of an insight about how I think about it. So number 1, they make you feel guilty for not hanging out with them. Now, things like this will come up. How come we don't hang out anymore? Why aren't you in my life? Do these things all sound familiar? Those nagging, needing, and selfish questions designed to put you on the spot. Like, frenemies enjoy doing this more than you think. They watch you as you fumble for an excuse, and they know they've got you once they hear your inevitable admission that perhaps, yes, they were right, that you two should be hanging out more often. I'm here to tell you to stop. Don't give in to the guilt trip, because that's exactly what it is. And I repeat, do not give in. It's a string that fake friends have no problem in pulling, which makes you their puppet. And if you find yourself in this position time and time again, it's probably time that you cut them loose. After all, there is a reason why you two stopped hanging out in the first place. Perhaps you should remind them. Number 2, they constantly make promises they can never keep. So let's say you do choose to hang out with them. Your friend says that he or she will totally go, probably because their better plans fell through. But they don't stop there. They promise to plan the occasion with you. Oh, how fun that sounds at first. Then as time goes by, you don't hear from them. Suddenly you're left planning the entire party all by yourself. And to top it all off, they don't even show up. Amazing, right? Now, they may hate hearing excuses, but they have no problem coming up with a few of their own. And they always seem to have the perfect alibi because they don't want to take responsibility or feel guilty. And afterwards, they leave you with a, next time I promise. You might as well stare at an empty seat. That's all they'll ever be. Number 3, they expect you to drop everything so you can cater to their needs. Sound familiar? Now, ever get those compulsive texts asking you for help, and they'd like, I'd be so grateful if you did this. Like, oh my God, please, let's be clear. You often do help them. There are times like where, however, you might not be able to, but generally there will be times where you just drop everything and just do, help them. And it's because of the way they ask, and they know that they can do it. Now, you have to remember that you have a life too, and your life does not revolve around theirs. But no matter what you have on your plate, their situation always seems to be far more important. It is absolute hell if you do succumb to their needs, because then they make their problems your own. It's a stress dump, really, and you don't need it. They see that you've got your life figured out, and they want you to do the same for them. It's not your problem. And they're not really seeking to chill or hang out. It's just convenient for them because they need you to fix something. Here's a reality check. We're all adults here, right? We've got our own things to deal with, our own problems to micromanage. Sure, friends help each other out. Yeah, we know that. But you can't be expected to do so all the time. And if that's something that they can't understand, then they're blinded by their own self-importance, which isn't an ideal ingredient for a sustainable friendship. Number 4, they always puff up their own importance. Now, you've got a job, right? You've got an award, or perhaps you've nabbed yourself a free cup of coffee, which, come on, let's be honest, is a pretty awesome feature, if that's what you want to do. So you share these details with your friend, hoping to hear them say, oh my God, good for you. But instead they find some clever way to make it all about them. Oh, you've got a job. Oh, well, I got promoted. Or, oh my God, what, you got free coffee? Oh, well, I got a free coffee and a croissant. They feel the need to one-up you because they don't see your good news as something to be happy about. They see it as, wait for it, competition. And soon you'll be less ecstatic about sharing your personal accomplishments. You should never have to feel that way, by the way. We all want to share what happened throughout our day because as people, we naturally seek validation from our peers. But if you do have to actively seek for it in your so-called friend, then perhaps you should find a new friend. Number 5, they mock you and compliment you at the same time because they're just passive aggressive. Now, here's one of the most frustrating things about fake friends. They've mastered the art of speaking passive aggressively. It's a second language to them. Again, it all stems from their nature to compete. It's not enough to one-up you. Sometimes they have to put you down. This casserole is delicious. Where did you cater? Or that was an amazing piece you wrote the other day. Like, who helped you write it? They won't see it, make you see it as an accomplishment for yourself. They will always say that someone else helped you do it. And now, they find ways to mask their insults as compliments. It's just crazy. It's like I said, it's a second language to them. And that's the worst part, because slowly but surely they chip away at your self-confidence. And you may not even realize it until your morale has worn out completely. Just watch out for it. Now, number 6, they gossip endlessly about others. Now, this is a major red flag. And if you're constantly talking about other people, just imagine what they're saying behind your back. That's terrible. It's a terrible thought to have lingering in your mind, but it's how they convince themselves that they're better than everyone else, including you. Sure, it's one thing to vent about someone. It's another thing entirely to tear people apart when their backs are turned. A real friend wouldn't do that. A real friend's got your back. Now, number 7, they only see you as a means to an end. Now, this is the cold, hard truth. A fake friend will use you any which way they can. They see you working hard, in class or, at your job, and they want to jump on the bandwagon and get a free ride. Perhaps you offered to pay for dinner that one time, so they convince themselves that it's okay to steal from you because they know you're well off. Simply put, that's basically it. They see your generosity and take advantage of it. It's called taking my kindness for weakness. A true friend recognizes your inherent kindness and returns it 100-fold because it's a trait they admire, not envy. Now, those who don't fall into that category only see you as a stepping stone, and they will ditch you once they have no more use for you. Believe me, that isn't where you want to end up, because the way back to your dignity will be a dark and lonely road. Now, of course, we don't see these traits right away, and we are often caught up in the honeymoon phase of a newly forged friendship. But time reveals many things, like whether a friendship has run its course. And don't beat yourself up. If that turns out to be the case, be grateful for it. Consider it a learning experience to help you evaluate who to keep in your inner circles. After all, life is a precious thing, and spend it with people who make the journey worthwhile.